This platform discusses any and all information that has been published to the public sphere. We will engage our viewers through the use of this public information. All videos, songs, and graphics used in the video belong to their respective owners. I claim ownership of all produced video content on this channel and video. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing.
HeSpoke Fashion. I'm telling you, HeSpoke Fashion. Not so bad. HeSpoke Fashion. I'm telling you, HeSpoke.
can be really playful with him, and I've yet to find one thing that I don't love about him.
Wow. This is hands down my favorite.
Really?
Yes.
No, mine too. I like
You
this.
look incredible.
My heart is full of Matt.
This dress is just missing one thing. Some shoes.
I'm scared.
I just think they would look better with those shoes.
Oh my God, oh my God, what? Wow, no, I'm not worthy. I've never had a pair of shoes over like $40. Like, I can't believe these are even on my feet right now. I just feel like I'm so lucky right now, and I hope the luck continues. I'm literally speechless. Thank you.
Yeah.
This is awesome. I feel like I can really
Bruh.
Well, I actually was in the fashion industry for a number of years, over 17 years, in retail, with anywhere from women's shoes to clothing. I did a stint with, I did hip hop. Everybody knows hip hop clothing was big back in the day. And so I've done with that. But most of my background really came in women's shoes. I started in Bakers, and they're long gone. Y'all don't know nothing about Bakers. Bakers and Wild Pair. Those were my two stores that I started out in back in 1996. 1996. And my last stint in retail, I was actually with the Nine West Group. And for those who don't know, the Nine West Group, everybody wears Nine West shoes. I don't think there's any woman that doesn't have a Nine West shoe in the closet. But they had a number of brands. They had, of course, the Nine West brand. They had Nine Studio, which is kind of like the upscale brand. We had Bandolino, little pink and brown box. Everybody had those as well. We had Enzo Angiolini, number of things, Anne Klein, and so that was my background, and I loved it. You know, it was a lot of work, a lot of hours, but it was fun. Oh, shoot. Well, number one, personality. Personality is really key. I think, you know, when you're talking about women's shoes and the style of shoe that they particularly wear, you have one person who may be conservative, and I like to use my sisters for example. Um, my sister Joanne is Desi Joanne. I think I see you on here. She's she's more of a risk taker. She's more of someone who likes to uh, make the shoes accentuate an outfit. But then my sister Vandella is more conservative. She's more of a classic look. Um, so when I'm shopping for them, and when I did a lot of shopping for them for you know birthdays and Christmas and things like that, um, there was two different shoes that I picked out for both of my sisters. And so it really goes with personality. That's where it starts. And if you have a really good shoe salesman, someone who has, you know, he or she that's been around for a while, honestly, you can look at a person's uh, taste in shoes, what they've asked you to get, and kind of go from there. And I think that's a good quality for shoe salesmen to do and have. But I think overall, personality in general speaks volume in regards to shoes and the desires that they have and what they have. It's good to ask questions, but personality is really key. Yeah. Well, leather shoes are the best. All right, let me clarify that. Leather shoes are the best. That's why I would say 85% or 80% of the shoes made are leather. Um, and it's the reason is that they give to your foot. All right, you want to make sure now you have hard leather, you have soft leather, um, you have patent leather, but leather is the way to go. Um, I will attest that some cases I had shoes that weren't leather. That I tried to. I don't like to throw out names and kill brands, but I had some Aldo shoes back in the day that I thought was real trendy, and I don't believe they were leather. I think they were the man made, but they was like the real trendy look. Man, them shoes tore me up, and it's the same for women. Um, you will find, and most of you will tell, everyone that if you have shoes that may not be the best of quality, you will get what you pay for. And so sometimes in that little clip, the young lady said, I didn't wear anything over $40. Um, that's fine if you're like a teenager, all right? A little younger. But it's really hard. You may get some great sales. As you were talking, joking, me as far as getting sales and always being in the mall and things like that. I've gotten shoes that were, hundreds of dollars for, a fraction of the price just because, good fortune and I know how to shop. But I really do believe quality speaks volume. So you want to start with leather, and that's where you want to begin, and hopefully that's where you want to end. If or should you get something that is man-made, like some sandals, strappy sandals, they may have like that man-made quality because you're really paying for more of the look. It's like sparkly and things like that. Um, those may be fine, but they hurt your feet. I'll be quite honest, and I would tell ladies, hey, make sure you have your slides in the car because these are going out shoes. These are shoes for the club. These are shoes for the lounge. But don't wear these in the mall.
Testing. Testing one. All right. These things happen, so I'm not worried about it. It's our first time. All right. So we're back. Hopefully we're better. We're better. So as we dig a little bit more deeper into our interview here, of course, I love talking about women's fashion. So let me ask you, Jonathan, what comes to mind when you hear the words women's shoes?
Style. Style. Someone being classic, classy, personality. Those are things that come to mind about in regards to women's shoes. I think, like I said before, when you look at a woman and you look at her shoes, you can see personality. You don't just see the shoe. You see personality.
Gotcha. I know when I hear women's shoes, I always think about I think one of the episodes we did previously where the woman had on this very clunky platform shoe. And I think about this special I watched one time, and it was like all of these women, and they were walking, and it looked like every one of them had like very painful feet. It was like it was a struggle. It was a real struggle. And so I am thinking, let me ask you, in your business, in your experience, would you say that more of your customers focus on style or comfort? What would you say?
I think there has to be a flex between the both of them when it's all said and done, especially if they're looking to purchase shoes for a new outfit. They want style, but they want comfort at the same time. If I would say which one leans to a little bit more, so if you would be honest, most women would be honest. Style kind of, tips the pendulum a little bit.
Right.
It does, because they will, as soon as they get out the club, as soon as they get out the lounge, as soon as they come out of church, they're taking those shoes off because their feet are talking. I mean, barking. So that's the thing that really most women focus on. They'll be honest. I would always like to say, hey, let's try to lean a little bit more towards the comfort as well, because I don't want you to return these shoes. All right. And so especially after you warm, because women will do that. Don't get me wrong. Now, but I think that style, 60 or 55, comfort 45. If I would give that percentage or a breakdown of 100.
Good. I remember back in the day, especially at church, you would see everyone when it would break out into praise. All you would see was women with barefoot. you
That's it.
You would say, did they wear
Running
shoes?
around.
Did they wear shoes to church this morning? Because that's all. And you assume, of course, with that age and that date, that it was because maybe the shoes were not expensive. Now, would you say that the more expensive the shoe, the more comfortable, or does it matter in this day and age?
Now, in this day and age, that is a very good question. I said before, sometimes quality does matter. All right, quality does matter, and when you talk about that, just like in cars, all right, when you're dealing with cars, when you're talking about Mercedes Benz or Lexus or Infiniti or Maserati, whatever the case is, Tesla, that quality is going to cost more money. All right. So the quick answer is, oftentimes you're going to have to come out your pocket a little bit more. All right. Again, if you know how to shop, when I say that, you say, what do you mean know how to shop? Get yourself familiar with the retailers, not just in the malls, but also online. You can get fabulous deals of mainstream designers, high-end designers, great prices. Focus on the quality of the shoe. Now, this is no knock to those women who say, like the young lady on there, saying that, I haven't paid more than $40. Honestly, when I was in Baker's Wild Pair, the price point was probably like $90 when it came in, or $80. And this is 20 something years ago. But when it got on sale, that's when it started moving. Why? Because Baker's and Wild Pair was meant for certain things and certain folks and certain, put it like this, usually those same people that bought those shoes didn't shop in Neiman Marcus or Saks Fifth Avenue. Right. So sometimes you kind of got to meet it halfway. I would say stick to those brands that you know.
That's very good.
Yeah.
When you made the comment there about the price point, I think that is very key for all of my butterflies. There's nothing wrong with shopping within a certain price point. There's nothing wrong. You can find, as Jonathan said, you can find online, you can find sales, you can find other venues that perhaps, maybe they're not first sale, they're second sale. And you can purchase those items. They're still in good condition, they're in great quality. But determine what your price point is. Once you determine that, I'm telling you, you can go far. You can find a lot of great items within your price point. Now let's move on here, because again, we continue to talk about that $40. Now there's a funny video about $40.
Caught my attention.
So I don't want to talk about that. But nevertheless, on with our shoes. So I want to go here, and again, we talked about the emphasis on style and comfort, and we are both in agreement that probably the majority of women will say comfort until they see a style that is really appealing to them, and they say, I just gotta have it. And I did this poll, and I asked several women. I had about 6 or 7 questions, and one of them was this same question: which was more important? And one person responded that sometimes they'll get that shoe that they know is uncomfortable, and they'll take maybe a Band-Aid and put it on the heel
Oh no.
to make sure that that shoe doesn't cause any bruises on the back of their heel. And I've heard of other things. I'm telling you, and the actual answers were phenomenal. But that tells you, you know, when you say sometimes fashion hurts, it literally does hurt.
Yes, it does. In some cases, in most cases, it does.
Yes, yes. And so let's move on here because let's talk about, we're talking about comfort, we're talking about style, so we have to talk about high heels. And so my question is, for women who wear high heels, what would you say would be the most comfortable range for the height of the heel? What would you
Well,
say?
good question. It would start with the height of the woman. I think, you know, if you have a woman that is probably over 5'9", you know, the taller women, they're probably going to the lower heel. You most likely won't see them in stilettos. I'll be quite honest. Very, very seldom did I sell a shoe that was 4 or 5 inches to a woman that was that tall. But yeah, it just we can go into a whole nother topic with that. But you know, really, to be honest, is you know, the comfort of that heel and the experience of that woman really dictates on how high they can go. Every woman is different, and if they can tolerate the height, they'll go. Sometimes we have women that love to push themselves to the max. All right, they'll push themselves to the max, and sometimes I'll be in the store looking like, yeah, this so look like it's working out, you know.
Right.
But
Right.
you know, I had to be honest. I was an honest guy, you know. But at the same time, that's personality. Sometimes, you know, risk takers. They will wear the high heel shoes, and they won't care if it's 4 or 5 inches. It's like I try to draw the comparison with my sisters. My other sister, cautious, conservative. Nowhere in the world that you would see her in Christian Louboutin. No, no. Now, if I bought it for her and I said, "You gonna wear them?" She probably would. But her going out now, is that a knock on her style? No, that's who she is. All right, just like you opened up with, you know, you preface this whole conversation about who you are, especially inside, is telling. And so, you know, you want to start with comfort level 1 and 2, who you are. Don't be what you're not, because when you see those women that look really foolish and inexperienced walking in stiletto heels, that's not who they are. They're trying to be someone they're not. And those ones that are the risk takers, because they practice it. They walked around in the house, walked on the carpet. You know, they modeled since they were, you know, 6 or 7 years old with their mom's shoes. Those are the ones that will tend to be the woman who will go out and get the 5-inch heels or the 4-inch heels.
Right. And it's true. It is all about being comfortable in your own skin. And that's what we want to say to you tonight that are online with us. We want to make sure that you're comfortable in your own skin. Yes, we're saying if the shoe fits. And listen, your Prince Charming may not be interested in someone who wears the stilettos. They may be interested in someone who wears the flats. You never know. But you have to be comfortable in your own skin. Let's move on, because I want to get to this part of the program where we talk about the right shoe for the right occasion, right? And so I'm going to name a few occasions, and I want you to tell me what the right shoe is for a woman, what that right shoe would be, all right? So, for instance, if a woman was going to spend a night out on the town, what would you say would be a perfect shoe for that occasion?
Well, night on the town, going to the city, all right? Going to, if we were not in the middle of a pandemic, and we were going to Broadway, I would say pumps, high heel pumps. You can wear those with jeans. You can do it with the dress, whatever you want to do. Most women, night on the town, they're in slacks or jeans. Throw those pumps on. You can also do strappy sandals in the summertime or the springtime. Um, Also, you can have high-heeled boots, knee boots with 4 or 5 inches. Now, you can't walk in them. Stay away from them. But that's the perfect type of shoe or shoes slash boots that you can do and flex out on the night on the town, spring, summer, winter.
Yes, yes, and we're showing a few in our lookbook. And I'm telling you, ask our viewing audience, what would you think? A night out on the town? Do you agree? I mean, some of you live in different areas where a night out of town, out on the town means something totally different from you. So I'm in total agreement. I agree. I would love to see. I love to see women in a nice high heel, a nice pump, and it's doable. It's doable. Now again, the comfort may be a problem. How long you're going to be out, but definitely it's doable. Sometimes, I believe you have to challenge yourself and take risks. Our last episode, we made a statement in our 5 tips that one of the tips were that you had to be bold. Be bold. Take a risk. Take a risk in your fashion choices. If you're normally wearing flats, go ahead and grab that pump. If you're normally wearing pumps all the time, maybe grab a wedge sometime. Flip it up, make it different, make it exciting. All right, let's go to our next occasion. If you're going out to the club, what's the club shoe?
Now, the funny thing is, very similar. Now, the reason why I say night on the town is usually, there's a correlation with that. Now, night on the town, you can be out with your girls, and you can also be out with your husband or your boyfriend, right? In the club, for the most part, I would say a good 80% of those in the club are single. For the most part nowadays. All right. So if that is the case, you definitely want something more appealing. All right. So you would lean towards strappy sandals. You would lean towards high heel pumps. Even wedges in the summertime is really big. That used to be big for us. Wedge sandals, because you can put some height on those wedge sandals as well.
Yes.
And a lot of people say wedges are really trendy. Not so. Like Wendy, they're not trendy. They're something that has been around. Now they may change things up. Like espadrilles may come in one season, not the next, but then come back the next. So all those things you can flex. But honestly, in the club, just pumps, stilettos, strappy sandals, high heel wedges. Keep it. You probably don't want to do boots in the club. It's too hot. Now I haven't been in a while, but I know when I did go, it was hot there.
Right.
I don't care if it was December, January. It's hot as hell.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So don't wear knee boots. Just don't.
Right. You know what? We're having such a great conversation, but we're having so many technical difficulties. I really want to come back and bring you back on for part 2 of this discussion. We have a ways to go, but I'm telling you, this echo and all of these things, I want to make it so much better for the audience. So can you come back? I mean, we may even say tomorrow. Can you devote some time to come back and talk to our audience? This is very good information, but I want to make it the best for our audience. Can you come back? Can we get you to come back?
Absolutely.
Okay, awesome.
Absolutely.
So we're going to do this. We're going to just end the show tonight, and we're going to reconvene. We'll put the information out there online so that you can come back and join us. But on tonight, we're just thankful that Jonathan is you heard him. He said he's going to come back. And we want him to come and share all of this valuable information. And we have a lot to go. We want to ask you questions. We want to get your opinion, your recommendations, because I believe that we can help each other. You never know whose life you can impact just by a like, a share, and a comment. Listen, that's all we have for tonight. And we'll be back real soon with Jonathan Campbell. Come on, give him some applause. We thank him for coming tonight. And we'll see you again real soon.
HeSpoke Fashion. I'm telling HeSpoke Fashion. I'm so bad. HeSpoke Fashion. I'm telling